Hi, my name is Noelia de la Rosa. I am a senior at New Mexico State, Las Cruces campus, and my major is dance education and performance in this College of Education. And yes, so here's my culture bag. Here's the things that make up my identity and have a lot of significance to me. So first of all, the item that represents my race and my ethnicity, I wanted to do something a little more creative than just doing a flag or something that would be just vaguely representative of me. So I chose something that was specific to my culture. And before I begin, I want to say that my two overlapping identities come between three: Mexican, American, and Dominican. My father is Dominican, first generation, born in the Dominican Republic, and my mother is Mexican American, born in the States, but raised in Mexico. So a lot of the things that overlap for me, a lot of the things that are important to me overlap because of Latinidad. Like Latin identity is just so it's we borrow from each other, I think, from each other's culture. So the one thing that I wanted to share that share my race and ethnicity, that is one thing that overlaps, is hoops. So I think for me, learning to love hoops and see them as something that was classy and not just something that was ghetto as with growing up or anything like that had some kind of, like, for some reason, some kind of negative connotivity on this way that Latin women choose to dress themselves. And also, well, women of color, I think not only Latin women wear hoops, but also black women wear hoops too, and other women of color wear hoops. But in terms of being Mexican and Dominican, hoops are something that I can be in both communities, I can be in both families, and hoops are beautiful in both cultures. So to celebrate that, I wanted to start off with my hoops. Second, the language that I speak. The language that I speak that I really wanted to highlight was from, I'm going to use this rosary to represent it. I was first raised in a Spanish-speaking home. I was raised here in Las Cruces, and I was in a Spanish-speaking home. But as I started going to public school more and more, and there weren't always bilingual programs available, I started speaking more English outside of the house, which ended up changing into the way that I spoke in the house. But one thing that remained was that we always went to church in Spanish. And from my aunts and my uncles and from both sides of the family, they always passed down my Catholic religion to me through prayers and through just like church, and the way I knew religion was always in Spanish. And so coming into my own and being my own person and accepting my religion as my own person really transformed when I changed the language. But when I started practicing in English. But I always love, it's always super close to my heart to pray with my aunts and to go to church with my family in Spanish, and it's really close to my heart. So this is a St. Michael Rosary. That's really close to my heart, and I think it represents the language that I speak. Third, one tradition, custom, or holiday that we celebrate is it's a small one, but I think it's really significant, specifically because a cousin of mine is expecting, and whenever someone in our family is either going into labor from a pregnancy or is having trials or going to a doctor's appointment, we always light a candle for them. And this candle, it also has a Catholic icon in it. This is the Virgen de Guadalupe. And a lot of the traditions that we have in my family revolve around Catholicism. We're not a super hardcore family. We're not a super hardcore Catholic family. I think it's just these things that religion gives us a sense of comfort and a sense of pattern that it gives us a lot of grounding. It gives us a reason to come and celebrate holidays together and gather for something positive. So we light these candles, and sometimes we'll even pray the rosary. I remember lots of memories of doing dishes in the kitchen and praying the rosary out loud with my aunts leading, or one of my sisters or I leading the rosary in Spanish and English. And just these ways that we come together in times of trial is kind of a custom for me. Some food that we eat. We don't cook a lot of Dominican food because my mom is Mexican and my dad is Dominican. So the food that we do have at the home is usually Mexican. So here I have tajin, which is basically, I mean, you probably already know, but it's just a chili powder that we put on lots of fruit and seasoning. And then I have tamales straight from the fridge, probably gonna be in my lunch tomorrow. We have green and red, and sometimes the aunts get kind of funky and they mix things up and put cream cheese and green chili, which is also super good. But just this tradition of wrapping tamales and finding the best place in town to get tamales, like whether you make them, whether you eat them yourself. I think lots of Mexican people know that tamales are like the bomb.com, and they're also like a holiday food. So for me, we don't eat them all the time on the holiday. It's not really a holiday, but that's what it is for me. Music, really quickly, and now I'm exceeding my time. Music, really quickly, is I'm gonna play a song that is bachata. Bachata, although it's celebrated by Mexican communities, it actually originated in the Caribbean, and this is particularly Monchi y Alexandra with the song Perdidos, where this is a bachata song that's my dad always played growing up. So this one is a couple from the Dominican Republic that they do specifically bachata songs, and there's a specific dance for that too, of course. And then for my Mexican side, I chose Como la Flor by Selena because she's Mexican American, and that's something that just growing up in Las Cruces I heard a lot of. So there's that. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you.